It's the human paternity. You can feel it in the rocks, in the stone, in the buildings themselves.
It's great that a writers' festival can embrace the whole town in that way.
We are blessed, and we are blessed with generous writers. I remember coming out of the Capitol Theatre front doors and looking down View Street and thinking to myself, this is a really beautiful street. And because I've been on Writers' Festivals committees before, I was in Melbourne Writers' Festival couple of decades ago. I was on the Brisbane Writers' Festival for a little while too when I first went to Brisbane. And it struck me that we are a big enough city and we're a beautiful enough city to have a Writers' Festival.
There is that feeling that we're in regional Victoria and that all of the action is happening down in Melbourne or in the other capital cities. And so to have a festival the calibre of this one come to Bendigo and sort of to have the best be invited, you know, to our little patch of Central Vic, that's fantastic.
And the good thing about Writers' Festivals now is they can do not just that, they can have food writers, they can have crime writers. We want to be as wide, cast our net fairly wide.
That's the great thing about Writers' Festivals. Like last week, I did 5 sessions and they were all entirely different. No matter what the starting point was, they just went off into fantastic tangents.
I thought it would be going for years now. So I've been very pleasantly surprised that everything has been so well organised and so smooth, and everyone has been so wonderful.
I think it's actually very good that the festival has both non-fiction writers, fiction writers, political writers, sports writers, songwriters, being all inclusive. I think that makes for a better writing festival.
And what writers do for a living is basically get ordinary, everyday human experience and distill it into a form that's packageable, that's understandable, that people can pick up and look and see themselves or other people they know.
For somebody who's interested in history and particularly the history of Victoria and how Food and Wine have kind of woven through that history over the years, it's great to see places that were built 150 years ago being used. You get a feeling that there's been a continuous enjoyment of drinking and eating in this city for a very long time.
This is right up there in terms of a town that has the right atmosphere for a festival, but has venues in close proximity and a really high standard of venues.
Bendigo is in progression, and it's progressing fast. It's moving very fast from a small, humble, historic country town to what it is now, a thriving, prosperous regional city.
It's really important that we're part of this circuit of major speakers, major writers, major ideas, major events.
We've had a lot of blockbuster shows over the last 3 years in particular that I think has brought a lot of people from not just from Melbourne, but from the other capitals as well.
I think it can only get better from here, and as its reputation grows and it becomes more of a cultural touchstone sort of thing for the Australian literary community, I think it'll be wonderful.